Yeah. Okay. This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. We are located at 2420 and 2422 West 30th Street, Los Angeles, California, 90018. And this is Saturday, January 20th, 2024. And we are running a camera through the vent line on the roof in between the units, and this should get us out to hopefully to the city sewer. So we are going to insert our camera into the vent line and attempt to run all the way out and take a look at the waste line under the house and the sewer line. Appears that we're in ABS plastic now. We've got a lot of cobwebs inside the vent line, and that should clear when we get down to the bottom. We're going to try and shake the camera real good and see if we can get the cobwebs off. And there we got a clear picture. And we are in ABS plastic waste piping under the house. We're going to go real slow right here. We're coming up on a joint. There's some tie-ins, and we're making a turn. And now we're leveling out, and we're going out toward the street. I believe we're still underneath the house. And we're just going to try and run out all the way. We got some debris in the line, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to see, and then it'll clear up. We got water in the bottom of the line. So we're going to feed it out all the way, and then we're going to pull it back slowly to take a good look at the line. It looks like we may still be in ABS plastic and transitioning to pieces of cast iron, and then possibly it appears that we're in clay piping. We're going to try and run some water and see if we can continue to push out. If we need to, we'll run water and help us to get out to the city sewer. Now we're in the street. As I said, we're just going to run out all the way. We've got a lot of debris and getting on the camera lens. Hopefully we get into the city sewer, we can wash the camera lens off and then begin pulling back from the city sewer saddle connection that is in the street, which is the tie-in from the property of 2420 and 2422 to the city sewer. So we're going to pause for a moment. We're still running out. We're able to run out still. It's going out slowly. It's difficult to push out. We need to get some water running. We have a dog that's in the bathroom. It's going to make it difficult to try and run water, but we'll see what we can do. We're going to pause for one moment. We're going to pause for one moment now. Okay, we have the tenants or someone that is in, I believe, 2422 that is going to run some water for us in a tub, and hopefully it'll help us push out further. So we'll continue. When we get the water, it'll help clear off our camera lens, and then at that point, hopefully we can see the line better too. We are in clay. I don't know that we're going to be able to see this. Here's the city sewer tie-in connection from what I can see. It looks like the saddle, and we should be dropping in here shortly. Right there. We're in the city sewer. We're in the city sewer. We're going to pause for a moment. Doesn't appear to be a lot of water in there to help wash the camera lens off, but we're going to pull back just a little bit. Pull back very, very slowly, and hopefully we can see the saddle. Now pull back a little bit more, and it's hard because we are in water. We got some water running now. We're going to shake the camera again, try and see if we can clear the lens again. It looks like we've got the lens fairly well clear. We're going to pull back just a tiny bit. Pull back. So we're going to pull back a little bit more. Okay, we're going to try and push back out again. We've got some debris hanging off the camera lens, so we're going to have to push back in. See if we can lose this debris that's hanging off the camera lens. Okay, we're in the city now. We're dropping in. Got a lot of water running in the city. We're going to go down into the city a little bit further and really shake the camera. We're going to be in a good bit of water right there. We'll pull back a tiny bit. Going to pull back a tiny bit now. Very slowly. Right there, and we're going to pause for one moment, and we're going to shut the water off inside the unit of 2422. So we're going to pause right here for one moment. We're going to locate this area real quick, so I'm going to pause for a moment, put on my locator, and try and locate this area. Okay, we located the city sewer tie-in out in the street, and we mark it with a dot of white paint, kind of hard because it's raining. And we've got our locator off now. We're just going to pull back a tiny bit very slowly so we can see the edge of the saddle. So we're down at the bottom of the city sewer now, just past our tie-in. So we're going to begin pulling back very slowly. Right there is the saddle. And the saddle connection appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. We're going to continue to pull back very, very slowly so we can see the joints. Next joint has a little bit of an offset, not terrible. I'm going to continue to pull back. This is all vitreous clay. The next joint has a fairly considerable offset, but we'll see if it's broken or has roots. We're going to pull back very slowly. That joint's still in maintainable condition at this time. So we're going to continue to pull back. Next joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. A little bit of a separation, but not bad. So we're going to continue to pull back now. We're in the city lateral, in the street, which is the homeowner's responsibility. We're going to pause right here. There's numerous cracks in the vitreous clay. So we're going to pause for the moment, and we're going to locate this area. Okay, we located the area, and we are at about 7 foot 7 inches deep. We're out in the street. We are about 7 to 8 feet from the city sewer tie-in connection. And we're going to continue pulling back very slowly. So those cracks go pretty far. We've got at least probably about a 7 or 8 foot repair in the street. We'll see what the rest of it looks like. Right now, doesn't look like we have any cracks that push. We're going to pause for a moment. Push back in slow. Right there. Right there. Okay, we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, this area has some pretty severe cracks too. We're going to pull back about 1 inch to 3 inches right now so that we can see the joint a little bit better. Keep pulling back. Right there we can see that that's cracked. So we're going to pause. We're going to locate this area real quick. Okay, we've located this area about 5 feet out from the curb in the street and just put another white mark. It's kind of hard because it's raining. It's Not a nice clear dot. It's just some white paint that's hitting the rain. So we're going to continue pulling back slowly. That joint appears to be in maintainable condition. Little crack around the face of it. More than likely this lateral is going to need to be replaced as many areas, and there's a crack in that joint as well at the top at about the 1230 area. So we're going to continue pulling back, and we should transition now to another type of piping coming back when we hit the curb. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We have some cobwebs in that area. We're going to pull back through that. Next joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Now we're coming up toward the property line. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Next joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well. Next joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We're still in the vitreous clay. We're in the lateral. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Coming up. And now we're transitioning. We are transitioning to the property sewer line. That's the transition from the 4-inch to the 6-inch lateral. Now we're in the 4-inch vitreous clay. Pulling back. Now we're on the property. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Making a little bit of a turn. That joint's got a little offset, but not terrible. Still in fair and maintainable condition. Making another turn. There's a Y there. We're going to pause. That's transition. What it appears to be cast iron to vitreous clay on the property, and there's a crack in the vitreous clay right at that point. And looks like the cast iron is deteriorated at about the 1 o'clock area. You can see where there's a big crack in it. It's broken at the transition. So we're going to continue pulling back now. Coming back toward the house. And now we transition to what appears to be ABS plastic. So the part of the sewer line has been replaced. Now we're coming back up underneath the building. And this is the waste line. It's pretty much the same thing as the sewer line, except it is within the footprint of the house. It is within the foundation area. So this is considered waste line, but it does the same thing. It takes waste, paper, and everything else from the house out to the sewer line, out to the city sewer. So we're going to continue pulling back. The ABS plastic appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Now we're going to come back into a point, and then we're going to start coming up our vent piping again. We've got a little bit of water. We're hitting a flat spot underneath the house where it's holding water. It's not draining out 100%, so it may not be graded quite properly. It's not a huge amount of water, so it will probably push through. That belly in the piping, get a little dip in the piping sometimes. The way it's installed may need to be re-supported and rehung. But again, it's still in functional condition underneath the building. So we have ABS plastic that's been repiped underneath the 2 units. Again, we're pulling back, and then we will be pulling up and out of our ABS plastic vent line, which we are now. So we're coming up our vent. We're going to be pulling up to the top of the vent line, and now we'll conclude our ABS plastic vent, the cast iron piping, and the vitreous clay sewer line, property line, and city sewer lateral, which is the homeowner's responsibility. And this is our roof area, which we ran through and the house across the street and the side yard. And that will conclude our video inspection.
Thank you.